got sick and lost my hair. They prescribed me a vaccine for the coronavirus that I got right here, and I'm taking it. It's supposed to make me feel better and grow my hair and everything back. So we're gonna try this and see what happens. So this is day 2 of the vaccine. Day 3, look at this. This is day 4. I don't really know what's in this vaccine, but wow. So this is day 5. I don't know what's in this vaccine, but I didn't ask for all this. I didn't take the coronavirus serious. So I went outside, got sick, and lost my hair. They prescribed me a vaccine for the coronavirus that I got right here, and I'm taking it. It's supposed to make me feel better and grow my hair and everything back. So we're gonna try this and see what happens. So this is day 2 of the vaccine. Day 3, look at this. This is day 4. I don't really know what's in this vaccine, but wow. So this is day 5. I don't know what's in this vaccine, but I didn't ask for all this. I didn't take the coronavirus serious. So I went outside, got sick, and lost my hair. They prescribed me a vaccine for the coronavirus that I got right here, and I'm taking it. It's supposed to make me feel better and grow my hair and everything back. So we're gonna try this and see what happens. So this is day 2 of the vaccine. Day 3, look at this.
Stay together.
This is day 4. I don't really know what's in this vaccine, but wow. So this is day 5. I don't know what's in this vaccine, but I didn't ask for all this. I didn't take the coronavirus serious. So I went outside, got sick, and lost my hair.
Used it and so on, etc. But Peter, let me tell you what, I don't say 7 times, I say 70 times 7. I'm sure Peter had to start scratching his head and like, Lord, are you serious? Are you serious, Lord? 70? I mean, and so if we go, what, 70? It's 490 times you want me to forgive this person? Really, Lord? But do you notice the theme? Do you understand what the Lord is saying? I mean, the number, you can do the math, and that's a beautiful thing, but really the math is sort of saying this. It's an exaggerated way of saying, keep on forgiving. Keep on forgiving those that offend you, those that hurt you, those that spitefully use you, those who speak ill of you. Keep forgiving. I don't say be a doormat. I'm not telling you to be a doormat, but the scripture is quite clear. Jesus says 70 times 7, but what he's saying is keep forgiving. Back to what Peter said, Lord, how often will my brother sin against me? And I forgive him. Because remember, the sin is not against man, the sin is against God. Peter was taking it personal. So you must forgive because you've been forgiven. Now, I just want to throw this out there. Just want to throw this out there. Okay? Now, don't take this as a doctrinal statement, but God just put this in my heart. I want you to read this.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to join you because I know you are brilliant enough to click the link because you're going to participate in this platform tour. Why? Because it is going to be so impactful in what you do now that works now. My name is Gordon McGill-Banks. I'm a success strategist and a confidence building expert. I have broken a lot of records and have a #1 top, did I say #1 top team? Because I have helped so many people build their confidence, break records, and take themselves from ordinary to extraordinary with the things that are working right now. I saw a 75% increase in my business last year, and so I cannot wait to share with you exactly what works. So click the link. I can't wait to connect with you.
Stay together. Creepers Club. Whenever you pull your shit together.
There's a creeper here. I can feel it.
Works for me.
When you're new, nigga crazy.
So if you know, like I wanna fucking know.
Take out that screamer.
I'm asleep now.
Stay sharp. We got a creeper.
Cause it's getting domestic now.
Shut
When you're new, nigga crazy.
So, you know, like I wanna fucking know. Don't talk to me like that.
When you're new, nigga crazy.
So, you know, like I wanna fucking know. Don't talk to me like that.
When you're new, nigga crazy.
So, you know, like I wanna fucking know. Don't talk to me like that.
When you're new, nigga crazy.
So, you know, like I wanna fucking know. Don't talk to me like that.
People be like, you shouldn't want a relationship so bad. You should just love yourself. Like, yeah, I love myself, but who's gonna eat my? Like, I need someone to. Shut the fuck up with all that self-love bullshit. Like, I need someone to. People be like, you shouldn't want a relationship so bad. You should just love yourself. Like, yeah, I love myself, but who's gonna eat my? Like, I need someone to. Shut the fuck up with all that self-love bullshit. Like, I need someone to. People be like, you shouldn't want a relationship so bad. You should just love yourself. Like, yeah, I love myself, but who's gonna...
Hey, TikTok fan, Lady G here, and once again, I am pissed. South Dakota, we have a problem. 14-year-old Patricia Yellowwolf been missing from Rapid City, South Dakota since May 29th. 15-year-old Leilani Lasley been missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since May 20th. 17-year-old Isabella Mueller been missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since March 8th. 17-year-old Alexandria Road been missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since May 6th. 15-year-old Ebony Chase Alone been missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since May 24th. 17-year-old Loretta Bellion been missing from Rapid City, South Dakota since May 28th. 15-year-old Adriana Spotted Elk been missing from Box Elder, South Dakota since May 26th. 14-year-old Brian St. John has been missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since March 8th. And there are so many more in such a small time frame. Like Kylie Young, Jackie Sunbear, Natasha Tukro. TikTok, all these women went missing in a very small time frame, and yet none of their cases made the news. This is an epidemic. Oh shit, let's find it. Hey, TikTok fan, Lady G here, and once again, I am pissed. South Dakota, we have a problem. 14-year-old Patricia Yellowwolf been missing from Rapid City, South Dakota since May 29th. 15-year-old Leilani Lasley been missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since May 20th. 17-year-old Isabella Mueller been missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since March 8th. 17-year-old Alexandria Road been missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since May 6th. 15-year-old Ebony Chase Alone been missing from Sioux Falls, South Dakota since May 24th. 17-year-old Loretta Bellion been missing from Rapid City, South Dakota since May 28th. 15-year-old Adriana Spotted Elk been missing from Box Elder.
There's a great deal of immunity from getting it naturally. Do you want to apologize to the 100 million Americans who suffered through COVID, survived, have immunity, and yet you want to hold them down and vaccinate them? Do you want to apologize for calling those people flat earthers?
Senator, I appreciate your question and appreciate that everyone has their opinion. We follow the facts and the science at HHS. We use the expertise of the medical professionals, the scientists at HHS to make decisions. It's a team effort, and we rely on what is on the ground showing us results.
Except for the dozens and dozens of studies. In fact, most, if not all of the studies show robust immunity from getting the disease naturally. The CDC says if you've had measles and have immunity, you don't have to be vaccinated. The same was true of smallpox. You're selectively doing this because you want us to submit to your will. You have no scientific background, no scientific degrees, and yet you aren't really concerned about 100 million Americans who had this disease. You just want to tell us, do as you're told. That's what you're telling us. You want to mandate this on all of us. You're going to tell us if I have 100 employees, you're going to put me out of business with this
Prison company Unicorn, which was slapping out contracts to the Department of Defense to use this prison labor to make uniforms and other stuff for the military. So let me explain what just happened. They were rounding up innocent kids, putting them in slave labor camps where they did work for the military. That is what Hitler did. We were bringing drugs into community, and we can talk about Arkansas. We were bringing drugs into community. We were entrapping kids who were just walking down the street, throwing them into prison, pulling the money for their legal representation, forcing them to cop a plea, putting them in slave labor camps, and the Department of Justice made a profit on it. The Unicorn is a for-profit company generating revenues for the Department of Justice. That was the clue. So, it's interesting. Louis Farrakhan made a speech about, that's a wicked woman, and he talked about this very issue. I just had Dr. Debbie Sherry on the Solari Report, who's written, I think, the best book on sort of the Haitian occupation and genocide. We see the Clintons go into Haiti and basically destroy the local food supply, and prison company Unicorn, which was slapping out contracts to the Department of Defense to use this prison labor to make uniforms and other stuff for the military. So let me explain what just happened. They were rounding up innocent kids, putting them in slave labor camps where they did work for the military. That is what Hitler did. We were bringing drugs into community, and we can talk about.
Alright, this is my last video on gay rappers. And what a way to finish it. We got NBA Youngboy. Let's get into the evidence. So boom, Youngboy, what are you doing? Who hangs on the bros like that? You guys gotta understand, all these rappers are not what they appear to be at all. You guys be looking up to someone thinking he's a shooter the whole time he's an undercover brother. And boom, look what we got here. Another picture of Youngboy with his homie. Man, ain't none of my homies ever wanted to take a picture like this. Hey, yo, G, let's take a quick flick. Why don't you go over here and sit behind me? Yeah, just like that. And it's crazy to me that y'all Youngboy fans especially are so motherfucking blind that you guys will argue this. You guys will debate this like it's not real or something. Like, bro, the fuck is you doing? Look at these two lovely heterosexual males. You guys do not understand. I don't care about a male's preference. This is an effort to stop the manipulation. Don't look up to a celebrity, look up to yourself, gang. Alright, this is my last video on gay rappers. And what a way to finish it. We got NBA Youngboy. Let's get into the evidence. So boom, Youngboy, what are you doing? Who hangs on the bros like that? You guys gotta understand, all these rappers are not what they appear to be at all. You guys be looking up to someone thinking he's a shooter the whole time he's an undercover brother. And boom, look what we got here. Another picture of Youngboy with his homie. Man, ain't none of my homies ever wanted to take a picture like this. Hey, yo, G, let's take a quick flick. Why don't you go over here and sit behind me? Yeah, just like that. And it's crazy to me that y'all Youngboy.
Stop using bank! That's because you didn't have a minimum balance on your account. I'm sorry.
Landlord's gotta get his rent, baby.
Bro. I need answers, bro. I need answers, bro. One world religion, bro. Next year, my nigga. Abrahamic family. But hold on. I'm not about to read all this, but take a screenshot.
Let your
Read.
guns juiced up.
Now watch this. Take a screenshot real quick. Pause it, whatever. Now watch this. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with y'all. This is out of pocket. Out of pocket. You keep, it's 3 buildings, and if y'all vote, it's a special number behind 3, bro. And alright, now listen, they trying to prosecute Christians at this joint too, bro. If they speak up about Jesus Christ, they get prosecuted 5 years in prison, up to $500,000 fine. Bro, do not go there, bro. The Antichrist is on his way to a theater near you. Wake up, bro. I need answers, bro. I need answers, bro. One world religion, bro. Next year, my nigga. Abrahamic family. But hold on. I'm not about to read all this, but take a screenshot. Read it. Now watch this. Take a screenshot real quick. Pause it, whatever. Now watch this. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with y'all. This is out of pocket. Out of pocket. You keep, it's 3 buildings, and if y'all vote, it's a special number.
Amira, that sweetheart, 3 of Pentacles. You're a hard worker, and it's not going unnoticed. You are progressing very well. Good for you, sweetie. Thank you so much. Kyle Moore 6, sweetheart, 7 of Pentacles. You're a hard worker, and you put in so much time and effort in what you're doing. Now it's time to reap the rewards for that, sweetie. Good for you.
physicists, none of them are quantum physics, but yet they can get on TikTok and literally give up the same quantum physics in simpler words without an entire Greek word of quantum physics. That is because we are divinely intuitive. We don't need all these quantum physics to do what we naturally does. Does a tiger need to do quantum physics to let out its claws?
Real reason so many black feminazi women are angry at the black man is because the other races of women are not corroborating their narrative about you black men. These other races of women are able to say, no, black ladies, we don't agree with you. How are they saying this? By quietly marrying more black men with every generation that passes. Meanwhile, angry feminazi black women are being chosen by black men less and less and less with each generation. How dare you get with a woman who don't consider herself a queen? How dare you have a family with a woman who respects you as the head of household? How dare you build with her to get to where y'all at today? How dare you accept what she's bringing to the table other than her cleavage and her booty? That's why angry feminazi black girls are really pissed at you black men. Real reason so many black feminazi women are angry at the black man is because the other races of women are not corroborating their narrative about you black men. These other races of women are able to say, no, black ladies, we don't agree with you. How are they saying this? By quietly marrying more black men with every generation that passes. Meanwhile, angry feminazi black women are being chosen by black men less and less and less with each generation. How dare you get with a woman who don't consider herself a queen? How dare you have a family with a woman who respects you as the head of household? How dare you build with her to get to where y'all at today? How dare you
Can't be pro-black and date outside your
I'm
race.
saying, yep.
What do you think, Adrian? I think I don't give a damn. But if you had a damn kid, black people and white people, love, kuma time. Wow. Put the kuma time. Do you know nobody happy with their life has these conversations? Wait, hold on though, like real fast. I don't care. Are you in my book? Yeah. Want to see me do it again? You can't be pro-black and date outside your
I'm
race.
saying, yep.
What do you think, Adrian? I think I don't give a damn. But if you had a damn kid, black people and white people, love, kuma time. Wow. Put the kuma time. Do you know nobody happy with their life has these conversations? Wait, hold on though, like real fast. I don't care. Are you in my feelings? Yeah. Want to see me do it again?
I've got a quick question. Why is nobody talking about the fact that the United States Coast Guard has encountered 4 Chinese warships off the coast of Alaska near the Aleutian Islands? This comes after the United States enters into a nuclear submarine pact with the UK and Australia. Beijing has threatened the United States to send more warships into Hawaiian waters. Always diversion, I'm telling you. You get distracted by Gabby Petito or what's going on at the southern border, and you don't see this. Make sure you like and share this video so the information can get around. And if you...
All I'm saying is, the way shit going now, y'all already know where to meet me at. It's already in the message. All I'm saying is, the way shit going now, y'all already know where to meet me at. It's already in the message. All I'm saying is, the way shit going now, y'all already know where to meet me at.
I'm putting this on all of my TikTok pages because this deserves to be seen 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It deserves to be seen everywhere. And it's crazy because it's literally a serial killer close to East St. Louis, which is in St. Louis, but East St. Louis is Illinois. find the person who's doing it. I'm putting this on all of my TikTok pages because this deserves to be seen 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It deserves to be seen everywhere. And it's crazy because it's literally a serial killer close to East St. Louis, which is in St. Louis, but East St. Louis is Illinois. And then look, East St. Louis, Illinois is only 8 minutes away from St. Louis. Come on now, it's a serial killer killing black women specifically. Every 3 days, the youngest being 16 years old, killing black women from just being outside, from just going outside. And the police is barely doing something about it. They say it's a black man killing the black women with little twisties and a beard.
When you run your own business, you're in charge of absolutely everything. So I use HoneyBook templates for proposals, emails, everything, so that I can automate as much as possible. Gotta find tools that work harder for you so you don't have to.
Stop scrolling. Listen, I know this might not be important to you, but it is us. Harold Carmouche, as you all know, was murdered in Crowley, Louisiana, and none of us know what happened. I'm here with his family, who have been calling for justice, and just this week, after a video that you all shared, that you all supported, guess what? The investigators called in to give them the same answers, which are nothing, that they've been giving them. So we're asking you, the community of TikTok, to share this video so that way we can hopefully get some type of justice. We know that soon we're going to have to show up in Crowley, in Acadia Parish, because we are not getting anything. So we're going to go to their front doors. But we need your support. So we ask that you would continue to share, like, and comment everything that you do see with Harold's name on it. God bless, and may God keep you. Amen. Other black people, please stop scrolling. Other black people, please stop scrolling.
Now, old school, old school. ABKC registered. Bully. Now we have Zena. This is my baby Zena. Y'all follow me on Instagram, cause soon as I end this, we gonna turn up on Instagram. My Instagram in the bio. This is Zena. She is a black tribe American bully. Black tribe female. I don't know her bloodline. I don't know what her daddy or her mama was, but I know that they was bullies too. Her mama was a blue tribe. Her daddy is a chocolate tribe. And she came out, the whole litter came out black tribe. That's crazy. Come on. Auntie, Blizzy. Come on, Auntie. I got 2 more I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all keep tapping the screen though. Y'all keep tapping the screen. Let's get some more people on here. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, because we're going to turn up on Instagram. And once again, shout out to my gifters. I appreciate y'all. Alright, now we got an exotic bully making her way up, taking her time. Come on, honey. Come on. Appreciate that, gifters. I'm going to use the money to go put some gas in my car and go look for a job. This is Annie. This is my baby girl right here. She is 7 months old. She is a 7-month-old exotic Merle bully. Well, I ain't gonna say she exotic because she not small. I'm just gonna say she an American bully too. But she's a Merle. Merle is this color right here. It ain't really tiger stripe. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you for that. It ain't really tiger stripe. It's a different pattern. I don't know where it came from. I gotta do some more studying on the pattern, but they say they mix the breed up. But they've been doing a lot of mixing, but this is my first Merle female right here. This is my nephew dog. This is Ani, up and coming star. I can't wait to see, you know what I'm saying. Get bigger, y'all keep tapping the screen. Let's get some more people on. Please, come on, my boy. The Cena just love to be on the scene. Appreciate my gift.
Ignorance is born from not wanting to know the difference. Last Friday, the CDC updated their website for the adverse reactions to the COVID vaccine. 2,387,992 souls had adverse reactions to this COVID shot. I'm not going to go over to all of them because there's a lot of minor ones that don't matter. I'm just going to touch base on the big ones. 2,091 of them developed facial paralysis. 5,667 developed shingles. 1,818 developed pneumonia, 2,396 had a pulmonary embolism, 3,672 had seizures, 12,259 developed syncope or loss of consciousness and muscle strength, 4,755 developed tachycardia, 2,881 developed thrombosis, 17,066 developed chronic hives, 710 had to be intubated, 779 bodies had spontaneous abortions, and there were 5,439 deaths for a vaccine that does not keep you from getting it, nor does it keep you from passing it on to others, which is why the mask mandate is back in effect. It only lessens your symptoms if you get it. And I've had COVID. My entire family had COVID. None of us went to the hospital. And unlike you, I do feel sorry. I mourn for these families. I pray for them. And to be honest, I'm going to continue praying for you because I pray to God that 2, 5, 10 years down the road, you or none of your family ever develop side effects from this vaccine. I send you with blessings and prayers. All I can think of is that there are some of us that are doing the research because we're the shepherds trying to bring the flocks home as many as possible and as safely as possible, and we're not going to be able to save all of them. But if I can even help one person, I'm going to do it. So it's okay that you're not sorry. I still am very, very thankful for you, and I will continue sending prayers. Knowledge comes from learning. Ignorance is born from not wanting to know the difference. Last Friday, the CDC updated their website for the adverse reactions to the COVID vaccine. 2,387,992 souls.
And the dark ages is the ages that Europeans don't like to look at. They don't like to remember that when more than 7% crossed over into Spain, 99.8% of Europe was illiterate. That the folks didn't have anything. Because remember what's happening, the Roman Empire is destroying all of the Kemetic knowledge, first of all. The Catholic Church is destroying all sorts of documents. They're destroying the fundamental civilizations in places that they come to. How are they destroying them and why? Well, they're afraid of them. The Catholic Church is definitely afraid of a number of things that's coming out of Africa, particularly the Amen priesthood. Because, see, the Catholic Church wasn't what it was. The Catholic Church changed it with Constantine in 332 AD. He's the one that changes the whole feeling of who Christ was. But in this time, 332, he's also doing battle with other parts of the world, and he's trying to consolidate the Catholic Church. He's really trying to consolidate a force that will become a major force of the world. So what he does is he knows he can't beat Christianity. He overtakes it. He usurps it. And he changes the definition of its central cult figure, Jesus the Christ. And he changes Jesus the Christ from a supernatural, extraordinary human being into
human being that is God. The African priesthood, the Orthodox Egyptian Coptic Church, and the Ethiopians don't want any part of this because they know that this is not the way in which their spirituality is. So he calls a meeting. From the moment that the Africans move away from the Roman Empire, that's when Rome starts having problems, but people don't want to talk about that. The barbarians come down and overtake it. But what Constantine attempts to do is he sidesteps the Roman Empire into the Roman Catholic Church, and the emperor becomes pope. Therefore, the Roman Empire doesn't fall and sidestep, but it loses its state power in a sense because it becomes more spiritual. However, that's not enough to fight these barbarians who don't care anything about God. So they come down and they kill off and they destroy whatever has already been developed, which is not much, but there's just a little bit of something that knows from the Roman Empire that was left over from what they learned from the Greeks, what the Greeks learned from the ancient Catholics. And it's the Dark Ages, it's the ages that Europeans don't like to look at. They don't like to remember that when the Moors in 1710 crossed over into Spain, 99.8% of Europe was illiterate. They had no books, didn't have anything. Because remember what's happening, the Roman Empire is destroying all of the Hermetic knowledge, first of all. The Catholic Church is destroying all sorts of doctrines. They're destroying the fundamental civilizations in places that they come to. How are they destroying them and why? Well, they're afraid of them. The Catholic Church is definitely afraid of a number of things that's coming out of Africa, particularly the Ahmed priesthood. Because see, the Catholic Church wasn't what it was. The Catholic Church changed with Constantine in 332 AD. He's the one that changes the whole feeling of who Christ was. But in this time, 332, he's also doing battle with other parts of the world, and he's trying to consolidate the Catholic Church. He's really trying to consolidate a force that will become a major force in the world. So what he does is, since he knows he can't beat Christianity, he overtakes it, he usurps it, and he changes the definition of its central cult figure, Jesus to Christ. And he changes Jesus to Christ from a supernatural, extraordinary...
Girl, these niggas ain't shit. Baby, what you wanna do?
Excuse the fuck out of me, man? Okay, you must be the reality check. He helps you take trips to the island. He shows you off in public, not in private. He do anything to make sure that you smile. He matches the energy you bring for your life. He takes back fast when replying. You don't play games, don't be lying. And that's the man that you treat like a trick. I had a nurse say that men ain't shit, girl, I'm back in. Sometimes we feel we some tension. We don't need your goddamn problems. Y'all be asking for a king when bitch you not a queen. So keep your hot girl summer, and you can keep your period food, and you can keep your clubbing every weekend. But I'll be running around and talking about men ain't shit. I like looking around and y'all see TikTok, boy. Y'all, man, what?
Girl, these niggas ain't shit. Baby, what you wanna do?
Excuse the fuck out of me, man? Okay, you must be the reality check. He helps you take trips to the island. He shows you off in public, not in private. He do anything to make sure that you smile. He matches the energy you bring for your life. He takes back fast when replying. He don't play games, don't be lying. And that's the man that you treat like a trick. I had a nurse say that men ain't shit, girl, I'm back in. Sometimes we feel we the tension. We don't need your goddamn problems. Y'all be asking for a king when bitch you not a queen. So keep your hot girl summer, and you can keep your period food, and you can keep your clubbing every weekend. But only run around and talk about men ain't shit. I like looking around. Man, let me get off this TikTok, boy. Y'all.
Welcome to How to Make Some Extra Money TikTok. Or at least I hope it finds its way there through the algorithm. But you can make money on TikTok. And I'm not talking about having millions of followers and finally being able to make some money. I'm talking about barely having any followers and being a creator, a content creator for brands. Brands are looking for content creators to be the face of their brand, to make consistent posts for their brand. So this is something that you love to do and you're not getting the likes and the views, but you know how to create some good content. Check the link in my bio. I'm also going to say it in the comments, and I'm going to say it when I text respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not
playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
Okay.
If you, I mean immediately too. If you do not respond when I text you, it's a problem. And I am not playing. When I text, respond.
This is the CKE truth that I'm here to bring it to you. Although Joe Biden has ended the 20-year war in Afghanistan and allowed 95,000 immigrants to come over here and actually give them a free ticket on their way, it seems to me that the black Haitian migrants that are trying to cross over here in Del Rio, Texas, are being denied their rights to enter the United States. They are fleeing natural disasters. They are fleeing a pandemic, and their president was just assassinated. I'm a little bit confused at why Border Patrol agents are able to use whips or reins in order to keep them in line. I'm a little bit confused at what's going on here. The whole point of Border Patrol and the police was a part of the slave control, but not to keep them out, simply to keep the enslaved workers in. Now we're doing the opposite to the first people who were ever free and free from this country. I'm a little bit confused at what's going here, and I need some answers. It seems to me also that Johnson & Johnson is trying to push for a second shot, saying that it would increase by 94% effectiveness. Also, the Pfizer is trying to get a third booster shot round. I'm a little bit confused if the first shot, second shot, third shot works, or if you guys are just testing this out. This is the CKE truth, and I'm here to bring it to you. This is the CKE truth, and I'm here to bring it to you. Although Joe Biden has ended the 20-year war in Afghanistan and allowed 95,000 immigrants to come over here and actually give them a free ticket on their way, it seems to me that the black Haitian migrants that are trying to cross over here in Del Rio, Texas, are being denied their rights to enter the United States. They are fleeing natural disasters. They are fleeing a pandemic, and their president was just assassinated. I'm a little bit confused at why Border Patrol agents are able to use whips or reins in order to keep them in line. I'm a little bit confused at what's going on here. The whole point of Border Patrol and the police was a part of the slave control, but not to keep them out, simply to keep the enslaved workers in. Now we're doing the opposite to the first people who were ever free and free from this country. I'm a little bit confused at what's going here, and I need some answers. It seems to me also that Johnson & Johnson is trying to push for a second shot, saying that it would increase by 94%.
Hey, you've been scrolling for a while now. Join me and let's go take some deep breaths together. On the inhale, breathe in for 4, and on the exhale, exhale for 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, get on with the rest of your day, but if you're in need of any more headspace, go to headspace.com/TikTok and sign up for a free 30-day trial. Hey, you've been scrolling for a while now. Join me and let's go take some deep breaths together. On the inhale, breathe in for 4, and on the exhale, exhale for 4. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, get on with the rest of your day, but if you're in need of any more headspace.
I'm so annoyed by this that I'm making this video without any makeup on and leaving my hair done because I just saw this and this is absolutely ridiculous. Enforcing reproductive responsibility among men. There's going to be a bill put in front of the House that will require a man to get a vasectomy after having his 3rd child within 6 weeks of that, or if they turn 40. I'm sorry, what? I'm so annoyed by this that I'm making this video without any makeup on and leaving my hair done because I just saw this and this is absolutely ridiculous. Enforcing reproductive responsibility among men. There's going to be a bill put in front of the House that will require a man to get a vasectomy after having his third child within 6 weeks of that, or if they turned 40.
I'm blowing the door.
I'm sorry, what? I'm so annoyed by this that...
Over there in the Reebok department. Don't come over here, we wearing red bottoms. Don't come over here, you know what I'm saying, trying to interact and trying to connect yourself to somebody that's outside your league. If you know that I wear red bottoms and you can't afford to buy a pair, then it ain't no need for you to be coming over here. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you were used to. Why are you, yeah, that's what they were talking about. Stop trying to go over here.
Okay, now so part 2, evidence of black people here before it was colonized. This coat of arms is from Zwickau, Germany. Here it is on the map if you want to Google it. This coat of arms dates back to 1118, and it became a royal market to the Holy Roman Empire in about 1150. This is that same coat of arms on a building in Zwickau. This is their city hall. This is the crest of Uringen, Germany. Here it is on the map. This is the coat of arms of South Germany. The coat of arms of Coburg, Germany. And this is the flag. Here it is on a building. Here's a Morris statue in Bern, Switzerland. And this statue in Schaffhausen, Switzerland. Notice that the emblem on his shield is actually the flag of the Holy Roman Empire. And remind you, previously spoke of Kalisuccess420's, the first European to become emperor in Peru. And this is him in the middle to the right, Kalisuccess420's, the first European to become an emperor in Peru, a black man from Rome. Okay, now so part 2, evidence of black people in Europe before it was colonized. This coat of arms is from Zwickau, Germany. Here it is on the map if you want to Google it. This coat of arms dates back to 1118, and it became a royal market to the Holy Roman Empire in about 1150. This is that same coat of arms on a building in Zwickau. This is their city hall. This is the crest of Uringen, Germany. Here it is on the map. This is the coat of arms of South Germany. The coat of arms of Coburg, Germany. And this is the flag. Here it is on a building. Here's a Morris statue in Bern, Switzerland. And this statue in Schaffhausen, Switzerland. Notice that the emblem on his shield is actually the flag of the Holy Roman Empire. And remind you, we previously spoke of Kalisuccess420's.
Did you hear that Walmart's partnering with Litecoin? Wait, seriously? I need to buy some right now. Wait a second. Did you really believe him? I mean, Litecoin's Twitter account sent out this tweet.
So black women aren't special, right? Okay. If black women aren't so special, where do you think she got this hairstyle from? Oh, and here's some dreads for you. Where do you think this style came from? Oh, and here's another prime example. If black women aren't so special, why are these two trying to be like one? Oh, here's a non-black woman that's a rapper. I wonder what kind of woman she saw doing that first. If black women aren't so special, why is she getting weave that looks like theirs? Something y'all swear up and down only black women do. And you talking about black women ain't nothing special, yet here's a non-black woman that went under the knife to have a body like one. Oh, and here's one more for you. If black women are nothing special, then who do you think these ladies got this dance from? Oh, not to mention that the music that they're playing in the background is the same music that black women listen to. This is probably your first time seeing my content, so I will give you a very fair warning. My page is not a safe space for those who want
to understand something.
The truth about death. A lot of people don't really understand the concept of death. So make sure you guys watch this whole video because I'm about to blow your minds. This is what you are. You are a soul with a body. You are energy. Yes, you still have a physical body, but you are not the body. You are the soul that is using the body for this physical experience. You are a ball of light inside of your body. Now let's take a look at this famous quote real quick. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. Now, going back to what you are energy, meaning you cannot be created nor destroyed, which means you cannot die because you are this energy. The only thing that truly dies is your body, which is not even you. We are literally just in this glob of meat to experience life. This is what we truly are. But we've been programmed since birth to look at death as something to fear. Well, it's time you guys know the real truth about death and what really happens after you die. On my YouTube, I just dropped the full explanation, truly explaining what death is. My YouTube is Jimmy111. Like and follow for part 2. The truth of
Michael, Jesus, welcome back.
And goodbye. Don't bang on me, Michael. On the genetic side, I get to go to conferences and hear about advances in genetics in all species. And I was just at one a couple of weeks ago down at the Cold Spring Harbor Lab in Long Island, and I learned a bit about what's being known. Genetics and reproduction. And on the genetic side, I get to go to conferences and hear about advances in genetics in all species. And I was just at one a couple of weeks ago down at the Cold Spring Harbor Lab in Long Island, and a bit about what's being known about immunology, genetics, and reproduction. And on the genetic side, I get to go to conferences and hear about advances in genetics in all species. And I was just at one a couple of weeks ago down at the Cold Spring Harbor Lab in Long Island, and I learned a bit about what's being known about immunology, genetics, and reproduction. And on the genetic side, I get to go to conferences and hear about advances in genetics in all species. And I was just at one a couple of weeks ago down at the Cold Spring Harbor Lab in Long Island, and I learned a bit about what's known about the genome of
this is
immunology, genetics, and reproduction. And on the genetic side, I get to go to conferences and hear about advances in genetics in all species. And I was just at one a couple of weeks ago down at the Cold Spring Harbor Lab. Immunology, genetics, and reproduction. And on the genetic side, I get to go to conferences on immunology, genetics, and reproduction. And on the genetic side, I get to go to conferences and hear about news. And this is the most serious event that will ever take place on Earth. We are looking at the ring of fire, where volcanoes are lighting up all around the world. Fires are being started all around the world. Meteors are dropping all around the world. This is an extinction level event that is taking place. This is the most serious conversation that you need to listen to and heed what I'm saying. The governments are coming together for global warming, all agreeing that they have to reduce carbon emissions. You, sir and ma'am, are the carbon emissions. They are putting some fluid in your arm, and basically that is how they plan on reducing the carbon emissions. They know full well why the earth is heating up. You don't know anything because you are asleep in a dream. And I am trying to wake as many of you up as possible with reality, facts, truth, and scriptures. These photos, all of it.
Apparently, there are a lot of men out there that are just done with being used, that all they're doing is working, chilling, and maybe ignoring people. It's kind of messed up. Apparently, there are a lot of men out there that are just done with being used, that all they're doing is working, chilling, and maybe ignoring people. It's kind of messed up. Apparently, there are a lot of men out there that are just done with being used, that all they're doing is working, chilling, and maybe ignoring people. It's kind of messed up. Apparently, there are a lot of men out there that are just done with being used, that all they're doing is working, chilling, and maybe ignoring people. It's kind of messed up. Apparently, there are a lot of men out there that are just done with being used, that all they're doing is working, chilling, and maybe ignoring people. It's kind of messed up. Apparently, there are a lot of men out there that are just done with being used, that all they're doing is working, Apparently, there are a lot of men out there that are just done with being used.
Car camera that led to charges for 3 Miami Beach police officers. The video shows police officers taunting one of the men arrested for videotaping the incident. Local Times' Raj Lowe is live with this exclusive. Raj.
This video is disturbing. You see a man on the ground, bloodied and handcuffed, and by the way, charges against him would later be dropped. You have police officers from Miami Beach around him, and you'll see the video yourself. They're laughing, they're telling him to stop crying, and in a very bizarre moment, get this, one of these officers actually reaches down and takes this man's Gatorade and drinks it.
I never resist. I wasn't arrested.
Khalid Vaughn, with blood dripping down his face, handcuffed, pleads with the Miami Beach police officers that he did nothing wrong inside the Royal Palm Hotel on South Beach after he filmed the tough takedown of Delonta Crudup, who was accused accused of a scooter parking violation and hitting an officer. Three Miami Beach police officers are now facing felony charges over the incident with Vaughn and Crudup.
Oh, y'all charged me and beat me. 20 of y'all. While I'm backing up. On camera, bro. Stop crying in my face. That's it. For no reason, bro. I did not. I backed up. That's kind of crazy. You know I chose my destiny. I backed up.
Tell him to stop crying, that he chose his destiny.
I'm from New York, bro. Back to New York.
And look at this. According to prosecutors, one of the officers charged with battery is seen on video taking Vaughn's soft drink and gulping it down, even making noises of delight afterwards.
Oh, man, that's crazy. That's cool, bro.
Taking a detained suspect's Gatorade, Vaughn had legitimate concerns. In fact, the city attorney's office would later agree with Vaughn that he followed police commands, did nothing wrong, and dropped his charges. So I'm sure city officials will have a lot to say about this video, what was going through the minds of those officers. We did reach out to Miami Beach Police for a comment, and so far, we have not heard back from them, but we'll keep you posted on what their reaction will be to this video. We're live on Miami Beach, Rosh Lowe, Local 10 News.
On camera.
Buckle up, it's about to get ugly. Police are virtually assured that they will not bear any punishment for killing a so-called black man, woman, or child, regardless of the circumstances. This security is also rooted in slave laws. The 1705 Virginia Slave Act declared that it was not murder for a so-called white man to kill a so-called Negro slave. And most southern states had similar laws until the late 18th century. Justifications for slave homicide included when a slave forcibly resisted arrest or resisted any order of any patrol or officer of the law. Book reference. What does black hole mean? A name given collectively to the body of laws, statutes, and rules enforced in various southern states prior to 1865, which regulated the institution of slavery, and particularly those forbidding their reception at public ends and on public conveyances. Damn. Buckle up, it's about to get ugly. Police are virtually assured that they will not bear any punishment for killing a so-called black man, woman, or child.
Hey, have you heard of Cold Kitchen? So you live streaming after you?
No, because honest and truly, they were getting so. She said a mouthful, but there was something particularly that stood out to me. The WKKK is a real ass thing, and when I found out, that shit blew my mind. White women literally were not allowed in the KKK, and they wanted so bad to be a part of racism that they actually created their own flag, which they dubbed the Silent Empire. And their goals are exactly the same as the original KKK, but they were approaching it from the political and social front. They held fundraisers, they raised money to support the KKK and to also support their own racist ventures. Their goal was to promote racial and religious intolerance through non-violent tactics. Passive aggressive. We know that's their specialty. So they have always been happy to be tools of racism. Always. Because it's the only seat that they'll ever get at the table as long as patriarchy exists. And instead of trying to dismantle the system, they just want to be on the top of it. But just like the KKK still exists, I'm sure the WKK.
So there's a video that lives rent-free in my head. Let me know what you think about it.
Lord, don't move my mountain. Just give me the strength to climb.
There's a clip of Joe Biden snitching on himself. Again, check this clip out.
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated. The fact is, you can't look at that.
There's a clip of Joe Biden snitching on himself. Again, check this clip out.
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated. The fact is, you can't look at that.
There's a clip of Joe Biden snitching
snitching on himself. Again, check this clip out.
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated. The fact is, you can't look at that.
There's a clip of Joe Biden snitching on himself. Again, check this clip out.
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated. The fact is, you can't look at that.
There's a clip of Joe Biden snitching on himself. Again, check this clip out.
I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated.
It's just true. I'm sick of the fuckery. I'm sick of the nice, attractive looking women with nice bodies on here thinking that's all they have to have. And that's all they show. They lead with their ass. Soon as they get on TikTok. Don't know hard-working man that's out here working 12, 14 hours a day want to come home to a lady that all you have to show me is ass and tits. And you dressed up in some nice little clothes showing me my ass and tits. After a while, this shit gonna get boring. It's like, where the food at? Where the activities at? What did you do today? Did you organize? Did you clean up? Did you do something today that made yourself productive instead of standing in fucking Instagram and TikTok shaking your ass to strangers all day long? Don't know hard-working man will come home to that. So y'all can continue to be shaking your ass on TikTok, continue to be thirst trapping on TikTok, and continue to be losing guy after guy after guy. It's just America around you guys. Hey.
So nice and not this woman, you protect me. She's a queen and man, that's something that she blessed. She gave us life and sacrifice without a
around town and was asleep in her bed in one of her apartments. Back here in this complex, right here in the loop here. They went through the wall, through her headboard, struck her head. Her teenage son found her hours later. You know, her entire family is struggling to understand exactly what happened and also then worried about what comes next.
They on the law that I'm shifting to do. It's all horrible.
Khalifa Bowling moved from Houston to Atlanta 2 years ago for better acting opportunity. Last week, Gwinnett County Police say the 36-year-old was asleep in her McDaniel Road apartment near the Loop as her neighbor, 22-year-old Maxwell Williamson, cleaned his gun in his apartment next door. The weapon discharged. The bullet went through the common wall and struck her in her head. Only 17-year-old actress around town and was asleep in her bed in one of her apartments. Back here in this complex, right here in the Loop here. They went through the wall, through her headboard, struck her in her head. Her teenage son found her hours later. You know, her entire family is struggling to understand exactly what happened and also then worried about what comes next.
They on the law that I'm shifting to do. It's all horrible.
Khalifa Bowling moved from Houston to Atlanta 2 years ago for better acting opportunity. Last week, Gwinnett County Police say the 36-year-old was asleep in her McDaniel.
Broccoli, peppermint eggs, no soda, salad, oranges, nuts, beggars, celery, cauliflower, hay, apples, water, blue.
How can a slave and a master both serve the same God? Then both of them expect their prayers to be answered by the very same God. How is that possible? Ephesians 6:5. Slaves, obey your earthly slave masters with respect and fear and with sincerity of the heart, just as you would obey Christ. This is exactly why I block every single person that tries to come into my lives or come on Jesus and say Jesus is going to save my life. What you have to understand is me as a black person understands that the Bible and that religion was then used to enslave our people even more. Our ancestors were enslaved and weren't able to learn anything else besides the Bible. If they were caught reading anything else, they would actually get beaten or in trouble. They were only able to learn the English language and read the Bible. So what does that tell you? The best way to manipulate and take over a whole dynasty or civilization is to take all the knowledge that they once knew and to give them the knowledge that you want them to know. How can a slave and a master...
How mature we
25 years old, feeling good with life. See what the problem is? Y'all put yourself in trust in the same motherfucking people. The same people who don't give a damn about you. I know for a fact they don't give a damn about me because of the color of my skin. But you want to sit here and say, we'll see you in ICU? No, you won't see me in ICU. Because there are things Mother Earth provides to make sure that the mucus stays clear from my lungs and from my body. What you people don't understand is that Mother Earth already provides what you need. Y'all rely on the government to give y'all medicines and vaccines that are produced to make you sick. I don't care about your little childish ass comment. What I wanted to let you know is that this right here is the reason why they're doing what they're doing. The racism didn't work, so now they're using vaccinated and unvaccinated people. I love being a pure blood. So get your transhuman ass off my page if you got a problem with the way I feel about my own body. How mature are we? How old are you? How old are you? You have to be at least over 30 years old. Or this is childish. For one, I have my own reasons to not take a vaccine. I haven't took the flu vaccine. I'm 45 years old, feeling good with life. See what the problem is? Y'all put yourself in trust in the same motherfucking people. The same people who don't give a damn about you. I know for a fact they don't give a damn about me because of the color of my skin. But you want to sit here and say, we'll see you in ICU? No, you won't see me in ICU. Because there are things Mother Earth provides to make sure that the mucus stays clear from my lungs and from my body. What you people don't understand is that Mother Earth already provides what you need. Y'all rely on the government to give y'all medicines and vaccines that are produced to make you sick. I don't care about your little childish ass comment. What I
don't trust you if you have that tape. Go watch her video, but let me ask y'all this question to the people who think it'll be too sensitive and then will get canceled. Let me ask you a question. Why haven't you canceled Family Guy yet? You can go on the internet right now. Go on YouTube right now and type in Family Guy Black Racist Jokes. And you will get at least 4 to 5 videos that's about 15 to 45 minutes long. Ain't nobody being sensitive to that. They got Asian jokes, Arab jokes, East Indian jokes, aka the Intermedians. But ain't nobody being sensitive to that. See where I'm going with this? The only reason why y'all say people will be sensitive to it is because it's a black dominant show. It does not have any white people like that in there. And the 4th season of the Boondocks was a season that was created by white people to please white people, and it was the worst season of the Boondocks in my fucking opinion. See, the problem ain't the Boondocks, it's the people. Y'all not ready to address black issues, therefore you cancel black shows. I don't trust you if you have that tape. Go watch her video, but let me ask y'all this question to the people who think it'll be too sensitive and then will get canceled. Let me ask you a question. Why haven't you canceled Family Guy yet? You can go on the internet right now. Go on YouTube right now and type in Family Guy Black Racist Jokes. And you will get at least 4 to 5 videos that's about 15 to 45 minutes long. Ain't nobody being sensitive to that.
You know what? I've seen him give R. Kelly life in prison pretty much today. But here's my question, and think about this. Out of all the people that they give these charges to, think about it. Give this man, R. Kelly, life in prison because he doesn't want to give up his masters. Having one of the greatest hits and most inspirational hits of all time in life, I Believe I Can Fly. The man said he doesn't want to give up his masters. Okay, now we're going to bring something up on this. Think about Michael Jackson. By his soul, does not want to give up his masters. Every time he fought somebody, they had to pay him. They had to pay him for the Lion King theme. Okay, Prince, telling people I'm not going to work with you if you don't have your master's. He told Nas that. Also, Bill Cosby trying to buy NBC. Very rich, very smart, very intelligent. I'm not saying these people aren't guilty of the things that they've been accused of, or some of the things that they've been accused of. But why is the Catholic Church not going to jail? Why is Woody Allen not going to jail? Why is the senator of Florida not going to jail? I'll wait for your answer. Because they'll do anything in the world to dig up dirt on people just to keep them at a level of obedience. Very disrespectful. Do not pick at this man. This man needs counseling. This man needs help. You know what? I seen him give R. Kelly life in prison pretty much today. But here's my question.
So Trump made it illegal for women to give birth in jail in handcuffs. He made that illegal. Prior to that, women were handcuffed while giving birth. Y'all was still like, he just doing it to buy votes. Trump signed an agreement to fund HBCs for the next, I think, like 7 years. Yeah, it was like he just trying to buy votes. Trump said, we need to lock the borders because we don't have enough jobs here. We did that temporarily, and I believe that this was the most jobs that ever became available in the U.S. history. And y'all was like, well, we don't want the borders being blocked. They said that Trump was taking the kids and putting them in these little tents covered with these styrofoam sheets. But then we found out that those were pictures from 2008 when Barack was president. Wasn't even from his presidency. Trump wanted to add religion into schools as a extracurricular activity. Not just Christianity, but all religions, so you can study them. But y'all was not hearing that. He created a tax cut for all businesses. But we wasn't hearing that. We was like, nah. Oh, minimum raise, minimum pay increased twice during his presidency. And it was like, well, the first one was in the beginning of his presidency, that one count. And the second one, well, it was only a couple of cents on a dollar. That didn't count. Emmett Till, the killers of Emmett Till was found guilty due to Trump. He actually declared Emmett Till innocent. So let me go back. Emmett Till, the young black boy that was killed, was found guilty up until his presidency. He overturned that and made Emmett Till innocent. He was like, well, that's not even important. The first African-American boxer, I believe his name was Joe Brown. And if you don't know the story, go look the story up. He overturned the fight and made I think his name is Joe Brown, Joe something, the winner of that fight. He actually got the belt and gave it to the family of that African-American heavyweight champion. I think it's Joe Brown or something like that. It's all before our time. And now, everybody was talking about Biden and Harris. And at this point, I think Harris identified as Asian American. And I haven't heard nothing about Biden. He's trying to send Haitians back. Okay. So Trump made it illegal for women to give birth in jail in handcuffs. He made that illegal. Prior to that, women were handcuffed while giving birth. Y'all still like...
So there's no such thing as black culture. So I might have cracked the code here. Black people in this country are having a fucking identity crisis. And because these people lack any sort of discernible personal identity, they have made race everything. They are their skin color. And this identity crisis is so bad
a weird black uncle that's had like samurai swords or ninja stars up on the wall. We want to claim Kung Fu like it is part of black culture, but it isn't. Kung Fu is a lot like us. It's part of the melting pot culture of this country.
Andy Tom, is this you? Yeah, you agents of white supremacy killed me. Let's get it. See, the thing is, black people in this country are getting over their identity crisis that they may have had due to being dragged across the Atlantic in chains and their culture being stolen from them. But let's get into your example to prove that you have no clue what you're talking about. First of all, none of the martial arts styles that Bruce Lee practiced were Kung Fu. Yeah, a simple Google search would have told you that. Moving right along. Furthermore, a simple search of martial arts styles associated with Africa would have led you to the fact that martial arts styles in Africa predated and were part of the culture of a Kibulan way before the colonizers showed up, or before we started learning martial arts styles from other cultures. And now here's a list of some of those martial arts styles that were practiced in a Kibulan prior to colonization and are still around today. Yeah, and as that uncle that is a practitioner of the martial arts while also teaching his nephews and nieces about self-defense, I don't think any of us have samurai swords on our walls because we're not samurai. We probably have katana or some other sword. And the thing about it is, see, Google is not your friend because a simple Google search will show you that swords are not specific to any culture. These are African swords. This is an African-made sword. Did you actually say these people? Spoken like a true agent of white supremacy.
Oh, there's no such thing as black culture. So I might crack the code here. Black people in this country are having a fucking identity crisis. And because these people lack any sort of discernible personal identity, they have made race everything. They are their skin color. And this identity crisis...
Hey, join this gang out for gay men and find awesome singles who are looking for gay men just like you. So install it now.
As if you have not gotten COVID since this all started, interact with this video, give me a like or a comment or something. I'm trying to prove a point. Help me out. As if you have not gotten COVID since this all started, interact with this video, give me a like or a comment or something. I'm trying to prove a point. Help me out. As if you have not gotten COVID since this all started, interact with this video, give me a like or a comment or something. I'm trying to prove a point.
Stop smoking. I need your attention. Like, there's something that's bothering me, and I need to address this. Right here, we got R. Kelly who married Aaliyah at 15. Now, right here, we got Elvis Presley who married Priscilla, or who dated Priscilla at the age of 14. The problem that I'm having, now mind you, like I said before, I don't condone pedophilia at all. But the issue that I'm having is that when he came and got him and locked him down and he blew trial with every count, every charge. This go right here, now we got charged for rape. I want to know what is the difference. Somebody needs to tell me what's the difference between getting charges and what he should be charged with. Was the biggest singer, R&B singer in the world. He was once the biggest country singer in the world. Quite frankly, they both pedophiles who lure and fantasize and fetishes young women. Not even young women, young girls. And here it is, this man about to do life in prison. Wow, this man never even got charged. Now, I'm not trying to start nothing. But the thing is, there's some things that I don't understand, and somebody needs to explain about this. If anybody can explain this, drop your comment and time to 6, man. Okay.
is 8-year-old Fanta Validity. I apologize if I mispronounce the name, but don't let that change the message. This beautiful 8-year-old child was shot and killed by police while riding a car with her family after leaving a high school football game in Pennsylvania. Initial reports from the Sharon Hill Police Department in Delaware County stated that this young girl was killed in a shootout with her family and the police. But that wasn't true. She was shot and killed in the car with her family as they turned a corner because the police heard gunshots in the distance. 8 years old, riding with her family and killed by police. And they lied about it. This is America. This is 8-year-old Fanta Validity. I apologize if I mispronounced the name.
I want to tell you about this. This is a Masonic Bible. My grandfather was a Freemason. He was very secretive about it. Never, ever talked about it. None of us ever knew what went on. My mom says they never knew what went on at the meetings. After my grandfather passed away, my mom got a hold of the Bible. She actually tried to return it to the Masonic Lodge that was in our town, but they wouldn't take it. Of course, when my mom passed away, I swiped this. Because the real Bible of the operative lodges of the Middle Ages was a copy of the old charges. They are the Rosetta Stone, which scholars are able to decipher the history of the fraternity, about which little was known until the late 19th century. It goes on to talk about the keys of the mystery and the ritual of three. If you want me to look more into the Freemasonry Bible, let me know. I want to tell you about this. This is a Masonic Bible. My grandfather was a Freemason. Very secretive about it. Never, ever talked about it. None of us ever knew what went on. My mom said they never knew what went on at the meetings. After my grandfather passed away, my mom got a hold of the Bible. She actually tried to return it to the Masonic Lodge that was in our town, but they wouldn't take it. Of course, when my mom passed away, I swiped this.
And at the same time, they will give $6.3 billion to another group with no ties to this nation, with no ties to this country, that didn't build this land, that weren't enslaved in this land, that didn't suffer black codes in this land, that didn't suffer from Jim Crow laws in this land, that didn't suffer from systematic incarceration in this land. We get nothing. Other nations get $6.3 billion. There's your reparations right there. So don't tell me that they can't pay. And at the same time, they will give $6.3 billion to another group with no ties to this nation, with no ties to this country, that didn't build this land, that weren't enslaved in this land, that didn't suffer black codes in this land, that didn't suffer from Jim Crow laws in this land, that didn't suffer...
Phone is an app that normalizes talking to strangers. There's no cameras, and it's audio only. There's a variety of topics, and it's great for introverts. Download Smooth now.
run right into this. I've set barbed wire. Idiots will run right into this.
Somebody explain to me exactly what black women did to make damn near every race, even a lot of our own black men hate us.
Sure can take advantage of government assistance. Kick this out of the house. Join the feminist train that demonizes your men. Allow billions of dollars every year to exit our community on fake aesthetics of beauty. Praise and joins homosexual men while demonizing heterosexual men that assert themselves. Took our children away from us and used them as bargaining chips to further financially disenfranchise us. Use sex as a weapon in our intimate relationships to get what you want. Became the only women in the world to tell the world that they don't need their men. Perpetuated the trope that black women are the backbone of black communities, which directly implies that black men have no spine and are useless. Continually pushing the narrative that black women are the winners of the oppression Olympics while not having any metric of which they are treated worse than black men. Allow their weight to slip such that sexual attraction is diminished. Hide girl summer. Engaged heavily in prostitution, legal sex work, OnlyFans, etc., and then demanded that your men protect and respect you. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I can make a part two. Black women.
Somebody explain to me exactly what black women did to make damn near every race, even a lot of our own black men hate us.
Sure can take advantage of government assistance. Kick this out of the house. Join the feminist train that demonizes your men. Allow billions of dollars every year to exit our community on fake aesthetics of beauty. Praise and joins homosexual men while demonizing heterosexual men that assert themselves. Took our children away from us and used them as bargaining chips to further financially disenfranchise us. Use sex as a weapon in our intimate relationships to get what you want. Became the only women in the world to tell the world that they don't need their men. Perpetuated the trope that black women are the backbone of black communities, which directly implies that black men have no spine and are useless. Continually pushing the narrative that black women are the winners of the oppression Olympics while not having any metric of which they are treated worse than black men. Allow their weight to slip such that sexual attraction is diminished. Hide girl summer. Engaged heavily in prostitution, legal sex work, OnlyFans, etc., and then demanded that your men protect and respect you. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I can make a part two. Black women.
Somebody explain to me exactly what black women did to make damn near every race, even a lot of our own black men hate us.
Sure can take advantage of government assistance. Kick this out of the house. Join the feminist train that demonizes your men. Allow billions of dollars every year to exit.
Watch Massa buck break you.
had to watch Massa hang you from a tree or set you on fire. I guess you forget that they hung us from trees and cut our children out of our bellies. I guess you forget that we were starved right alongside you. I guess you forget when Massa was starving you, how we would take the breast of our ample bosom from the babies that were cut out of us to feed you with that same breast milk that was meant for our child, to make sure that you're sustained. But I guess you don't remember any of that. I guess you forget that when they came and locked you up, we still had to hold down the household and raise the babies that we created together. I guess you forget the wounds that we tended to your whipped back. I guess you forget the medicines that we had to make from the earth to heal you in order for you to maintain. I guess you forget the meals we had to make in order for you to have strength in your body, to even be able to do what you were able to do when you were able to do it. Oh, how quickly we forget, you traitor. Those same non-black women that you raised so high on a pedestal. Did they heal your wounds? Did they cook your food? Did they have your babies? Did they rebirth you and bring you into every era of this land? So funny. You raised these non-black people above your own. Yet if it wasn't for a black woman, would you be a black man? Because she had to lay down with a black man in order to make you as a black man. Oh, but you disrespect the queens, so bless the women with your words who have never done anything for you. And you
takes it a step further. Did you guys know that? So Graham versus Connor takes it a step further in the amount of force that can be used in a shoot. So the reason why the police officers are going to totally walk from this is because there were gunshots fired. And Graham versus Connor, a 1989 holding based on DeThorne Graham being pulled over, beat up in 1984, case going to the Supreme Court in 1989. That case holding is going to say that police officers can use objective reasonableness based on the reasonableness in their mind of what could happen to them. So remember, 68 Terry versus Ohio, the 1968 Supreme Court holding of Terry versus Ohio says that a police officer can act in his...
she gave permission to a ship captain named John Hawkins to include enslaved Africans in his cargo. One ship led to another. The British was enslaving Africans and colonizing countries all over the world. So when the royal family tells you that they are not racist, I like the pussole. No, pussole too good for them. She told Batty-hole them, I lie them and tell. Racism in a them blood-clad, DNA, bomber-clad, them are racist. Yeah, I said it. You don't like it? Do something about it. 1562.
Always getting this question when I'm creating my videos. So today I'm going to show you exactly where I get my music from. It's called Artlist.io, and it's the best place to get music for your video.
Mama ain't shit now. She won't let me see my son. Oh, but you fuck with him. Mama pop my gun, cause there ain't no one-on-one. Nigga, wake up from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, put the bottom tongue. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Got you nigga with the cap shit. We gon' stop his ass like a cap. The mayor was coming out. Got him to his back, get a bitch a perk. That shit kick you like a pass. She couldn't even understand. When I told her drop again. Mama ain't shit now. She won't let me see my tongue. But you fuck with him. Mama pop my gun, but there ain't no one-on-one. Nigga, wake up from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, put the bottom tongue. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Got you nigga with the cap shit. We gon' stop his ass like a cap. The mayor wasn't coming out. Got her to the spot, get a bitch a perk. Now she kick you like a pass. She couldn't even understand. When I told her drop again. Mama ain't shit now. She won't let me see my son. But you fuck with him. Mama pop my gun, but there ain't no one-on-one. Nigga, wake up from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, put the bottom tongue. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Got you nigga with the cap shit. We gon' stop his ass like a cap. The mayor wasn't coming out. Got her to the spot, get a bitch a perk. Now she kick you like a fan. She couldn't even understand. When I told her drop again. Mama ain't shit now. She won't let me see my son. But you fuck with him. Mama pop my gun, but there ain't no one-on-one. Nigga, wake up from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, put the bottom tongue. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Got you nigga with the cap shit. We gon' stop his ass like a cap. The mayor wasn't coming out. Got her to the spot, get a bitch a perk. Now she kick you like a fan. She couldn't even understand. When I told her drop again. Mama ain't shit now. She won't let me see my son. But you fuck with him. Mama pop my gun, cause there ain't no one-on-one. Nigga, wake up from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, put the bottom tongue. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Got you nigga with the cap shit. We gon' stop his ass like a cap. The mayor wasn't coming out. Got her to the spot, get a bitch a perk. Now she kick you like a fan. She couldn't even understand. When I told her drop again. Mama ain't shit now. She won't let me see my son. But you fuck with him. Mama pop my gun.
Fuck this shit, man.
Nigga, wake up from the slum. 30 round, 50 round, 100 round. Yeah, put the bottom tongue. How you praying like a nun? I ain't never been an actor. Dig this. What if you found out the work you put in today is attached to people you'll never meet in your life? Ever. Yeah, because you got that assignment to break generational curses. Right? What if you find out that your work that you put in today is about to make your whole family great from here on out? Generations that you'll never see in your life. Great grands and everybody. And everything that they do later on in
Y'all see that? He next. He started it, but I had to get up first because she was on my page before clapping her mouth. First of all, you say you bet your life that I'm single. And only people gonna want me is to hit it and not wife me. I've been a wife for 27 years and been with the same person for 37 years. All 4 children, grown kids from him, 4 grandkids. That could tell you a little ass boy. Cause this is the type of stuff little ass boys leave on women page. And I wanna let you know, that's a bitch move, okay? A bitch move. From the picture that I saw on there, your one picture that I saw on there, you another one, can't drop it. Can't get your ass up. And you have my age. I know that you.
Hey, Tupac. Why we so focused on the whitewashing our culture? The Chinese people, they whitewashed our culture too. The Japanese
why I started looking to it. The first samurais were black. They were dark skinned. Why do you think the first Buddha had dreads? The first Buddha had dreadlocks.